Hey, Dumela, my African people. So I'm here to do a reaction to the EFF podcast, and I'll tell you my feelings. It's a very short one. Let's just watch it, those who haven't watched it, and then...
Corrupt activities,
power cuts,
money laundering, 51 million rand tender.
Cyril Ramaphosa may have violated the constitution.
How long are we going to complain about the same things?
Joblessness figures hit a record high.
The recent data on unemployment is disappointing.
Too long have we tolerated corruption in jobs and jobs for favors. Vuka, vela, vota. How long are we going to live like this? Existing without the land? Vuka, vela, vota. Why have we normalized complaining about the dark? In the dark. Vuka, vela, vota.
The affected students remain in the hallways and on the grounds of the East.
They promised us free education in 1994. 30 years later, all they've delivered is a corrupt NSFAS and a broken education system. On May 29th, Election Day, vote EFF. Choose jobs, choose land, fight against load shedding. Vuka, vela, vota.
You must be counted, you must be part of history, you must make sure that you are one of the people who are going to deliver economic freedom in our lifetime.
Vote EFF.
Okay, there you are. Disclaimer, the normal disclaimer. They have not been, they did not pay, and they did not pay for me to do this podcast. It's just me giving a reaction on what they do. Number one, so let me start with the criticism. The criticisms are obvious, and some of them really are neither here or there. Number one, they say, but if EFF is serious, why didn't they speak about the foreigners? It's not part of their topic, and they are not going to sell anything that doesn't concern them. Other people say they did not speak enough about land. Well, I think in their defense, they did speak about land, but in their defense, the EFF is 10 years old. And the reason I'm doing this reaction is I feel the EFF has reached a ceiling. And I'll tell you why I say they've reached a ceiling. The economic freedom fighters, the team, the guy that they've assembled are essentially the best political minds you can get outside the African National Congress. Give me any political party that has so much political experience besides the EFF. You can't compete with the EFF on that. There's no political party outside the ANC that has so much political experience and has youth in touch and has the future, because all these other, maybe you can call COPE, you can call IFP, you can call all of these things, it will be experienced by virtue of they are older. But the actual politicking experience and working different levels of politics, these guys have done COSAS, they've done high school education, they've done all levels of what we call education. They've been in boards, they've been in many things, and they combine that thing, they are the gem. That's what I'm saying. Toe to toe, the EFF will take any political party to the shredders. And what they don't have is, they don't have political power given to them. They don't have a social mandate given to them by South Africans. And I was telling the Patriotic Alliance guy that the EFF, led by Julius Malema, is the best political party in South Africa. It is. And it's unfortunate. They will win. They will win on Twitter, they will win on social media, they will win anywhere because people understand what they do. The conundrum that facing South Africans, and maybe to an extent to Africans in particular, is the fact that they, unfortunately, are unable to convince people in their close spaces. You know how many South Africans complain, and generally all the things that they complain about land, load shedding, all of the things. The EFF somewhat has a solution to those things. I'm not saying other parties manifesto do not have a solution. Let me give an example. MK Party is voted because of Zuma, but it has no official what is this manifesto. They have not launched any manifesto. We are within a month from elections. No one knows officially what is the official stance of MK Party. They do not even have considered all of those things, but people are voting for them. So that's what I'm saying. The EFF has done everything politically that needs to be done, but they still don't have numbers. So I don't know what they need to do. I don't know what's going to happen. But all I'm saying is they've done everything. And you could see with the advert. I remember in the previous, the previous elections, national election 2019, I think, they had Julius Malema's pictures. He looked very presidential. He looks like he was ready to go into Mahlambandlovu. Look, the EFF, good luck. I don't know what you need to do more. I mean, you can criticize EFF for a lot of things. I mean, the biggest criticism of the EFF is the fact that they say they love foreigners more than South Africans. That's the criticism. I'm not saying that's true. That's the criticism. And Julius Malema has said, and other EFF members' leadership also have said, they don't care. And that's like the biggest criticism a lot of people have about EFF. But any other thing, I mean, the EFF is the champions of the working class people. Like everything that I was telling Patriotic Alliance, that you are going to end up being told, whenever people have a certain problem, they're going to call the EFF. You see what they do? Whenever EFF does something, they say, no, this one needs the EFF. Whenever there's something wrong in society, they say, no, we're going to call EFF. They call EFF to come and solve the problem. Whenever they're done, they check EFF, they go and vote for ANC. So whether people honestly believe that these things are going to go away, these RDPs, these other things, we saw a video of Banyazali Sufi telling old people that after voting, if they vote ANC, after voting, what's going to happen is, maybe I'll show the clip after I'm done here, after I'm done with this podcast. After they vote ANC, then the NHI will kick in. But of course, he doesn't call it NHI because he's talking to all this. After he votes, and these people are going to go to any private hospital, and they'll get access there. I'm not saying it's not true. All I'm saying is a lot of you will doubt it. And of course, I doubt it. I doubt if it will happen immediately after elections. I doubt if NHI will work. I doubt if all of those things will work. But because it's ANC people who are in authority, they tell people what they are going to do. People have been believing them for 30 years. No matter how convincing the EFF is, people still don't believe them. You understand? So that's why they are not winning. So according to me, EFF has reached the ceiling. The numbers they are battling to grow the numbers, not because they are bad, because they're the best, and it's just that a certain transition has to happen for them to, for their political numbers to rise. They might be rising, by the way. The numbers might be rising, but other people are not dropping theirs, and sometimes it doesn't look. But all that matters is the fact that will they ever be number two? I don't see them being number two, because there are African people who are voting for the DA instead of voting for EFF. You understand? So it's going to be very difficult for the EFF. They've done everything. The advert, spot on. They've done everything in the advert, and they covered it in 1 minute 30 seconds. So they've done everything. If it's a top advert, well, I think to their credit, they didn't want to go overboard. They didn't want to go overboard and show things that are Hollywood style. They wanted to keep it reality, the issues that affect people. And on that, I give them thumbs up. They covered all the topics that they want to sell to South Africans, and they've done very well. Well, the EFF, it's unfortunate they're not going to be number two, because at this stage, there's no one who's going to surpass the ANC numbers. As bad as ANC is, no one is going to surpass ANC. ANC will be number one, DA will be number two, EFF will be number three, as the other elections happened. ANC, DA, EFF. If any miracle will happen, EFF will surpass DA, of which is unlikely. It's unlikely. But anyway, That's it. I'll come in and pick and give you my top five. My top 5 political parties that I think that go in their order. I may not give you percentages, but I'm going to give you top 10 of my best South African politicians because you've been asking for that. Okay.
After E29 Zagame, after Sifokeli ANC Lomteto Uti, you can go to any hospital of your choice. Whether it's a private hospital or it's a public hospital or it's a private clinic, ungene uhamba nje to any private hospital and get the best experts to come and treat you. After treating you, the government will pay that bill free of charge. The paper knows this is a national health insurance, NHI. That's what we are saying to our people, go and vote for the ANC for. That gone are the days, now your medical aid, you must die. Gone are the days, now your medical aid, you must be mistreated in our hospital. Gone are the days, now your medical aid, you are even scared to go to hospital. We are saying after the 29th, that's the end. We'll have one medical aid for everyone, whether you are working or not working, you are old or young. So that's what we are saying in 29 Zagame. So, it's